Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Power Hour Yoga. This is a 60-minute power Vinyasa yoga practice. We're going to be moving with breath. And our practice today is called Dolphin Pose and Shoulder Strength. So, yep, you guessed it, we're going to be doing Dolphin Pose. And because we do Dolphin Pose on our forearms, that also means we need to have forearm strength and shoulder strength. So we're going to be working through the shoulders a little bit here too today. Alrighty, so for your props, of course, go ahead and roll out your yoga mat. You might want to grab a couple of blocks that might come in handy, or just something stackable. You might want to have a blanket or something soft. It could just be a towel too. Since we will be doing dolphin pose and we'll be on our forearms, you might just want to have something soft or softer and with some cushion perhaps to lie on your mat if you like. That's just an option. Alrighty, that's it. Let's go ahead and begin. Let's start in mountain pose, so I invite you to stand nice and tall near the top of your mat with your feet about hip distance apart and your toes pointing forward, just so we can establish balance and connection, a sense of centering as we begin our class together. And since we're going to be doing a little bit of shoulder work, let's go ahead and circle our shoulders. Maybe a circle backward a few times and forward, just to kind of loosen up, just kind of check in to see if you have any tightness or even a little soreness in your shoulders and neck. And just to get into the neck a little bit, you might just bring your ear down towards shoulder, just slowly, like this, ear to shoulder. We'll even do a turning of the head, right and left. You don't have to turn all the way, just a slow turn and just feel that natural stop. And then we'll just nod down and then back to neutral. One more time, just nod down and back to neutral. And just come to stillness and just continue to tune into your breath. You might even take a few deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or out through your mouth. A couple times like that. Just to get reacquainted with your breathing. Another way of helping your body and mind to center. And then you just calm the body, calm the mind. Just a slow, steady breath in and out. You can do this with your eyes opened. Just gaze forward, even down at the ground if you'd like. Or you might even close your eyes as you take this journey inward. Just continuing to prepare for your moving practice. Let's go ahead and take 3 more slow, deep breaths as a way to prepare our bodies to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just reach nice and high. Big stretch. Then exhale, let's fold forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way down towards your toes. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees to extend your spine. Really feel like you're moving forward. And exhale, just melt back down. We'll hold here for a few moments. And if you're able to, just hang heavily forward. Put a little softness or a good bend in your knees. Let your whole upper body just hang forward. And once again, just loosen up the arms and shoulders. You might even give them a bit of a circle again. Backward and forward. Nod yes. Shake your head no. Even with your upper body, if you'd like, just a little sway, a little swing left and right. And let's prepare to stand. Just shift your weight back into your heels, bend your knees, feel like you're going to sit down into a low chair. Look forward, take your arms out to the side, then inhale to stand up all the way, reach into the sky. Then exhale, bring your arms down by your side. And just pause here, completing that first series. Another breath or two if you'd like, circling the shoulders. Let's do that sequence one more time. This is our half salute to the sun. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the sky. And exhale, let's swan dive forward, making your way down. A good bend in the knees, maybe touching the ground or your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway, allowing the top of your head to lead you forward. Exhale, back down we go, forward fold. Hold briefly here, complete release. Shift your weight back into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive now. Let's come back up to standing, reaching high into the sky. Exhale, arms down by your side. Very nice. And just pause here, come back to stillness, return to the sound and feeling of your breath. We're going to continue now with our Sun Salutation Series A. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up, reach for the ceiling. And exhale, let's swan dive forward, hinging at the hips, soft knees. Inhale, rise up halfway. You might even hear me call it monkey pose, extending the spine. Exhale, fold and bend, get low enough so you can place your hands on the mat here. And let's step back into plank pose. Now we're going to hold here for a bit just to develop some upper body strength. Since dolphin pose does involve some upper body strength, let's just start that process here. Make sure you're pushing firmly into the ground so you have a strong foundation. There's an energy in your arms. You feel very strong. All right, let's inhale. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit. Send your hips up into the sky, moving into downward facing dog. Hips are nice and high, forming this inverted V shape. If you need to adjust your feet on your mat, you can even adjust your hands a bit. I like to take my hands out a little wider. It just provides a little bit more space for my neck and shoulders. Same pressure into the mat with the hands, keeping the arms straight and strong. Feel the energy right up into the shoulders. All right, take a breath in. Exhale, draw belly in to engage your core system, then walk, step, or even jump both feet back up to the top of the mat to forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, monkey. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come back up to standing, reaching high. Exhale, arms down by your side. Okay, we're going to continue moving right away into Series B. Inhale, take the arms into the air. Exhale, take chair pose or a chair-like position, feeling as if you're sitting back into a chair that's behind you. Let's breathe in here. And exhale, diving out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Take your time if you need to. Inhale, rise up halfway or a good extended spine. Exhale, fold and bend. Bring your palms to the mat. Walk, step, or hop both feet back into plank pose. Once again, we'll just pause for a moment just to establish that good strength and energy here. Even feel like you're squeezing your inner arms towards each other as if you're holding on to something between your arms. Okay, breathe in. Then exhale, bend your elbows to lower your body down to Chaturanga Dandasana, completing the push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. That's our back bend. Facing forward, arms are straight, long legs behind you. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lifting knees, then hips into the air, downward facing dog. Just make some quick adjustments here with feet and hands to arrive in the pose. And then we'll continue. Go ahead and inhale, extend right leg up behind you. And exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor behind you, shifting the weight back enough so there's more pressure and weight in that left foot. Hands are now light. They can easily lift up off the ground. Be sure to extend your torso long out over your thighs so you can easily hinge your way up. Reach up into the air facing forward, Warrior One. That's an inhale. And we'll exhale to hinge and fold. Bring your hands back down to the ground. And then step back into plank pose. Bend elbows, squeeze them in towards your ribs as you lower your body down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pressing away from the floor, opening your heart, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg up into the air, reaching long. Your exhale to step through. Left foot landing lightly at the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the floor behind you. Long torso. Then inhale to rise up. Reach up into the air. And your exhale to hinge and fold. Bring your hands back down to the ground. And we'll step back into plank pose. Complete your series. Come on down if you'd like. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's hold here for a few breaths. We're going to do a couple things. Just notice where you are and how you feel. Keep pressing firmly into the floor with your hands. And what you're going to do, just very gently, is as you're able, just kind of sink your chest lower towards the floor.
And just notice how this feels in your shoulders and even in your chest. And then soften that up. You can do that again. Just sink the chest closer to the ground between the arms and then kind of lift away from that. Now let's rest. Let's bring the knees down to the floor. We're going to take child's pose. So you can take the knees a little wider here if you like, just to provide a little bit more space for your torso, and then sit back. We're going to make this somewhat active. Let's do this. So you're sitting back, your hips are reaching back towards your heels or toes. You're going to come up onto your fingertips, okay, like this. I'm going to call them like spider's legs, right there. And your arms are extended out front. So you're just on your fingertips here, and kind of, again, just kind of sinking your chest downward, even your head down. Now this could be your head can rest on the mat. You can even bring in a towel, or even bring in a block. But I really would invite you to kind of sink down between the arms here. 2 more breaths. And then rise back up to hands and knees. You can place your palms flat on the mat. Even bring the knees a little bit underneath your hips. Let's take cat and cow. So you're going to inhale, lift head and heart, arching the back a little back bend feel. That's cow. Exhale, round it out into cat. Belly button pulls up towards spine, chin to chest. There we are. Now we're getting a nice undulation through the spine, rocking through the pelvis, and even though the arms aren't moving, this is great for your shoulders too. So maybe 3 more breaths and just go at your own pace. Inhale to open the heart and look forward, arching the back into the back bend for cow pose. Your exhale to round out the spine, chin to chest, belly button pulls up towards spine. And when you're finished, just come back to a neutral tabletop position for a second. And then sit back briefly into hero, just so we can take a seat. So we'll just slide off onto the mat here, swing the legs around to the front, and go ahead and sit in the center of your mat. You're going to go ahead and roll down onto your back. You're going to lie down with your knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Let's just hold here for a moment and just let everything soften. Okay, noticing how your back just melts into the ground, and even just let your arms just really rest next to your body here on the floor. We're going to do several things with the arms while we are in bridge pose, which is coming next. Let's go ahead and inhale, fill up the lungs. Exhale, blow it out, draw belly in, engaging core, and then lifting hips up into the air. Then just lift the hips and just leave the arms where they are, and just notice how this feels. A couple breaths. Then we're going to see if we can get the arms and shoulders a bit more underneath us. So you might rock your upper body left and right several times and start walking the shoulders more underneath you. And for a moment, just keep the arms just flat on the ground, but your arms, your shoulders are more underneath you rather than beside you, if that makes sense. If you can, just for a moment, see if you can interlace your fingers underneath you. Just fold your fingers like you were folding your hands on a desk or something, on a table. And that's going to kind of keep the arms and shoulders in place. So this is one option. Or use your hands to help lift yourself up. Okay, literally just hold on to your body and lift yourself up into the air. Or you can just bend the elbows, free up the hands, fingertips are reaching for the ceiling, but push down into the mat with the backs of your arms. It's your triceps and elbows, just to help stabilize the body and maybe lift you and open you up a bit more. Okay, that's a long time for bridge, but I wanted you to get all those different arm sensations. Okay, wiggle your toes forward a little bit. Extend your arms straight up into the air to release the shoulders out from underneath you, and then roll your way down. Once you've made it to the ground, hug knees into chest. Start to rock carefully forward and back. And rise up to seated so we can come to boat pose right here. And if you can, lifting the feet, maybe the shins are parallel to the floor. Do energize the feet by flexing them or pointing the toes. That'll keep the legs strong. You can always hold on to the knees here. Extending the spine. You want to feel like you're lifting rather than sinking like this. We're lifting up and even leaning back because it's an angled position for the upper body. We're going to move from here. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs. If you can, roll forward, get your hands in front of the mat, and then step back into plank pose. Pause here for strength. Feel as if you're pushing the floor away from you. Let's take a shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees a little. Send your hips into the air. Down dog. Let's continue with the lunge sequence. We're going to inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, back to Warrior One. So left heel will turn to the floor. Find that balance, extend your torso. Then inhale, rise up, reach up into the sky, Warrior One. Exhale, turn your torso towards the left side of the room as you bring your arms down to parallel. Here's Warrior Two. Now this is good energy work for the arms and shoulders just by holding them out in place. We're going to do a couple things here. One, you're going to turn your palms up. Bend your elbows and just squeeze them, almost like you bring them to your ribs, but slightly behind you if you can. Hold that. It's like you're holding a couple of platters here and just feeling that squeezing sensation, elbows towards ribs, the back part of the ribs. Okay, let's go ahead and re-extend the arms, palms down. We're going to reverse the warrior here, taking right hand up into the air, reach high, and with the left hand, you're going to bend the elbow and slide it behind you like you were putting on a belt. Okay, just put on that belt. And so can you see my fingers kind of peek around to the front there? So your arm is just kind of resting at the low back. Right hand into the air. Okay, and we're going to windmill, but take this into a side angle. So now right arm comes down, left hand going up into the air. And maybe over your head a little bit like this, reaching through the fingertips. Now you can even rest this right arm lightly on the thigh if you're up high like I am, or you might be reaching down, perhaps touching the ground or your stacked blocks. Okay, take a breath in right here. Exhale, we'll turn, let's lower ourselves, bring the hands to the floor, step back into plank pose, holding for strength, then take a shortcut to down dog. Lunge sequence. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, Warrior One. Turn that right heel to the floor, long torso. Inhale, rise up, reaching into the sky. Exhale, opening to Warrior Two. Reach and hold, energetic movement and reaching through the fingertips, and then spin the palms up. Bring elbows in towards your ribs. Hold, and just feel that muscle engagement. That's a lot of back engagement. You're flexing muscles here. Let's go ahead and re-extend the arms, spin the palms down, and reverse the warrior, left hand reaching up into the air. And with the right arm, bend it and slide the arm on like it was a belt. Just like this, just right across the waist. This is for our shoulder, okay, that right shoulder, just to get it in a different position. Nice reaching sensation through this left arm, gaining some strength, endurance strength really in that left arm. Then we're going to windmill, but take it to side angle. So left arm will come down, even bend it if you like, and rest it lightly on your right thigh. Right hand reaching into the air, even reaching overhead a bit to get a right side body stretch. Also working into the shoulder. Let's breathe in. And our exhale will turn. Let's bring hands to the floor now. Stepping back into plank pose. Hold. Let's finish with Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Next exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet back up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale to extend your spine for monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come up to standing, reaching into the air. Exhale, arms down by your side. Alrighty, let's do some more circles with the shoulders. Really kind of shake them out. They've already been doing a lot of work. Let's get into some balance, all right? We're going to do tree pose to begin. Start shifting your weight over into right foot. I'm going to try to mirror you. Right foot pressing into the floor.
Nice long spine. And inhale to really fill up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly in. And then picking up the left foot, flexing the foot, thigh parallel to the floor. Swing it open for the hip opener. And then place foot on the inside of your standing leg right there. Then inhale, let's take the arms up into the air. Reach and hold for a couple seconds, maybe straight up or V-shaped, but then bend elbows quite a bit so you have a U shape. Okay, see if you can keep this balance. We're going to do a couple things. You're going to squeeze your elbows together towards the front. Okay? Squeeze them. Maybe they touch. They don't have to. And then reopen. And then open enough like you're going through a doorway, just to open up through the chest. Take the arms back up into the air. Hold, and then swing left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, arms down by your side. Okay, shake that out. Okay, so that little elbow squeeze, let me just show you. So the arms are up in the air and they're bent at about 90 degrees, and they're just going to squeeze in. So they're still at 90 degrees. And they just kind of squeeze towards the front. And then back open, wider, okay? Let's do the other side. Start shifting weight now into your left foot. Press it firmly into the floor. Strong, energized standing leg. Inhale, get very tall. Fill up the lungs. Exhale, draw belly in. We'll take that right foot up off the floor. Swing it open. Plug it in. Find your balance. Find your focus out in front of you. Then inhale, take the arms straight up into the air, or a little bit of a V shape. Then bend elbows to 90 degrees. Let's do that squeeze. Bringing the elbows forward to the front. Maybe they touch, but they don't have to. Reopen, but open a little wider to feel the heart and chest open forward. Shoot the arms straight up into the air, hold them up into the air, and we'll swing that right knee forward now, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot, arms back down by your side, and then shake it out. All right, let's go through another flow. Let's just keep the body in motion here. Okay, we're going to inhale, reaching into the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Go at your own pace if I'm going a little too quickly. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor. Hop or step back, plank pose. Come down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the right leg up into the air. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior One, left heel to the floor. Rise when you're ready. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, open, Warrior Two. Let's go right into the reversed warrior. Reaching up. Left hand slide it on like a belt behind you. Reach up, maybe slightly back. Windmill into side angle. Go ahead and bend this right arm, rest it lightly on the thigh. Left arm reaching overhead. Like that. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. We're going to add a posture here. Right side plank. Right hand will stay on the floor. You're going to open up sideways like this. Legs, if you can, keep them straight. If you want, though, you can always bring right knee to the floor. Make a little kickstand with that right foot. Otherwise, straight legs, stacking the legs if you can, or stagger, one in front of the other is fine. Feeling this left hip lift into the air as the left hand is reaching into the air. Certainly some upper body and shoulder strength right here. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, return to plank. Come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's flow with the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior One. Inhale to rise. Exhale, open, Warrior Two. Reverse your warrior, left hand up. Right arm slides on like a belt. Reaching up and maybe overhead. We're in a windmill right away to side angle. Variation, left arm bent, rest lightly on the left thigh. Right arm reaching overhead, right side body stretch. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, hold. Left side plank. It's Vashisthasana, side plank. So left hand will stay on the floor, opening up towards the right side of the room. Right hip and right hand reaching for the ceiling. Legs are straight unless you would like to bring the left knee to the ground. That's fine. Stacked feet or staggered. I can feel my body shaking. Working hard here. Let's breathe in.
Exhale carefully, return to plank pose. Hold. Bring knees to the floor. Okay, we're going to do that same child's pose we did earlier. Take the knees wide. Sit back. Arms straight out front. Come back to those spider's legs. Let the chest sink. Three breaths or three more breaths. And then soften. Now what we're going to do here is bring the elbows to the floor, your forearms to the floor. You can keep the arms parallel like this, or even bring the hands in closer. You can even fold fingers together here. Come back up onto the knees, okay? So kind of check in with your arms. Mine are in this triangle shape because I folded my fingers. But I want to make sure I have more pressure leading towards the fists, okay, or my hands, and my forearms and hands, less pressure and weight in the elbow. So I'm shifting that weight forward. Now that I've got that established, I'm picking up the knees, extending the legs. I'm on my toes. I call this Dolphin Plank. Okay, because we're in that plank pose, but with dolphin arms. We're pushing into the ground with some firmness, with the hands and forearms. Less pressure in those elbows. Lots of core strength here too. 2 more breaths and we'll rest. Okay, let's come down. Let's come to a different version of child's pose. Start with the arms extended, just briefly, but bring the hands behind you like this, reaching for your feet. This is going to allow your shoulders to relax. So just kind of melt into this, and sometimes we call this embryo pose. Okay, so just holding, releasing, going heavy. Shoulders are heavy. We're going to do our Dolphin Plank one more time. So take 2 more breaths in your embryo pose. Come back up to hands and knees, perhaps. Let's bring those elbows back down to the floor. Again, you can do the triangle shape, okay, folding fingers, or palms parallel or arms parallel to one another like railroad tracks. It's the same sensation. We don't want to be too weighted in the elbows. Try to shift your weight forward so you're more planted in the palms and there's more weight in the forearms. Press. You kind of get this broadening effect in your upper back. Step back with the feet so the knees are off the floor so you're in your Dolphin Plank. And we'll take our first dolphin. Keep the arms as they are, just tiptoe forward, knees very bent, hips lifting high. Weight is still forward towards the hands. 1 more breath. This is just a teaser. Bring the knees to the floor. Come back up onto your hands. Return to downward facing dog. With a good exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet back up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, extending spine, monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Nice release. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way back up, reaching into the air. Exhale, arms down by your side. Alrighty, some good shoulder work with all of that. Okay, get a sip of water. I'm just going to adjust my mat. We're going to do another balancing posture, which also involves your arms. We're going to do eagle pose. Eagle pose, okay? I'm going to turn away from you just so I don't mix up my left and right. So just follow me. Let's inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, slowly bring the arms down. Pay attention to your left arm, and bring it down and behind or underneath the right arm and cross them at the elbow so you have an X. Spin the palms forward or up, and then lift the hands by bending the elbows so you have this sensation. And as you're able, just going to wrap up the arm, just going to braid them all up right there. Put a little bend in the knees. Put weight into your right foot. Pick up the left foot. Cross this left leg entirely over the right. So we're in our eagle pose. It's a balancing posture, but notice the arm formation and where your shoulders are oriented. They're forward. So just notice that. Even some broadening in the back. Okay, we're not going to hold here too much longer. Let's go ahead and uncross the leg, plant the feet, unwrap the arms, reach out, reach up all the way up, slow motion. When you exhale, slowly bring the arms down, paying attention to the right arm. Bring it down and underneath or behind the left, crossing at the elbows, make your X, turn palms forward or up, bend the elbows, lifting the hands, braid your arms as you're able. Put a little bend in the knees, put weight into your left foot, pick up the right foot, cross that right leg entirely over the left. Squeezing legs tightly, squeezing arms tightly. Noticing the shoulder orientation, they're forward. Okay, broaden up the back, even take a breath into your upper back body. Let's uncross the legs, plant the feet, unwrap the arms, reach out, reach up. Arms down by your side. Good, some circles here, shake it out. Lots of energy there. Okay, let's flow. Inhale, take your arms into the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose. Hold plank. Let's go to right side plank again, right here. Right hand stays on the floor, opening up to the left side of the room, left hand's reaching into the air. Now we're going to bring this left arm, this whole arm to the floor, elbow to the floor. Breathe in, follow me. We're going to exhale, turn, bring this left arm to the floor and spin open to the other side of the room. So we're doing side plank on the left arm, but you're down on the elbow. Forearm and elbow on the ground. Breathe in. Exhale, bring this right arm to the floor, matching the other. Stay here. Now again, the arms can be in this little triangle shape, maybe folding fingers or railroad track arms, making sure you're pushing more firmly into the hands and forearms, less pressure in the elbows. For our forearm plank, tiptoe forward a little bit, lifting hips into the air. There's dolphin. Okay, make sure you're pressing firmly into the ground with the fists, your hands, forearms. Rest, bring the knees to the floor. Come on to hands. So you'll be on hands and knees here. Return to down dog. Let's take right leg up into the air, right leg. Right foot to the top of the mat, Warrior One. Opening, Warrior Two. Reverse the warrior, put on the belt with the left arm. Side angle, right arm can rest on the right leg, left hand reaching up and overhead. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shifting your body back out to plank pose. Let's do the other side. Left side plank. So left hand is on the floor. Okay, regular plank, side plank. Right hand and right hip lifting into the air. Breathe in. As we exhale, we're going to bring the right arm to the floor. Forearm and elbow opening up to the left side of the room. Side plank on the elbow. Good. Breathe in. Exhale, dolphin plank. Both arms on the floor. Flat, straight line through the body. Press into the ground. Broaden the upper back as best as you can. Feel as if your hips and hamstrings are lifting towards the ceiling. Tiptoe forward for dolphin pose. Bring the knees down. Come up onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Left foot to the top of the mat, Warrior One. Warrior Two on the exhale. Reverse your warrior, left hand up, right arm, put it on like a belt. Side angle. Left arm comes to left thigh. Right arm reaching up and overhead. It's like a big circle, taking off the belt, bringing it up and overhead, extending. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. Come on down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Very nice. Let's take a little pause here. Come to hero pose. As you're able, you're going to bring your hands behind you. Maybe up just onto your fingertips, a little bit of a lean back. Roll the shoulders back and kind of lift up through the chest. A little stretch sensation perhaps in the front part of the shoulder and in the upper pectoral muscle region. Tip the chin up a little bit. And then just coming up neutral, see if you can still stay in your hero. If this is uncomfortable, just take a regular seat. You can take your right arm and bring it across the body. Use your left arm like a hook and just hug it in. Let me just turn to face you. Okay, so you're bringing that arm around. And the other one just kind of hooks and holds it in. Just to get a little pull for the outside portion and side portion of the shoulder. We'll do the other side, so just release and relax. We'll do the other arm. Very good. Just a little stretch. Good. Release and relax. Let's return to downward facing dog. Nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, extending spine. And exhale with a fold. Weights in the heels, shifting your weight back. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way back up to standing, reaching into the air. And exhale, arms down by your side. All right, it's a lot of work for the shoulders. Okay, a little quick rest here, shake them out. Let's start piecing our sequence together. So it's going to start with eagle pose. We're going to be stepping out of eagle pose. Let me just show you this. Okay, I'm just going to kind of hop into a little mock eagle, not the full pose, okay? So I'm in my eagle pose, and I'm going to extend the leg back, opening up right away into a Warrior Two, and we'll proceed with what we've been doing already, okay? So find your mountain pose, some breaths. Let's begin with the arms. You're going to inhale, extend your arms into the sky. Exhale, bring your arms down slowly, paying attention to the left arm. You're going to bring your left arm down and behind the right, cross at the elbows, make an X, lift, braid up the arms or wrap them up. Put a bend in the knees. Shift your weight into your right foot. Right foot, pick up the left foot, crossing that left leg entirely over the right. Here's our eagle pose. Couple breaths here as the shoulders draw forward. All right, now this left leg is crossed. We're going to uncross that leg and step the left foot way back onto the mat behind us into the lunge. Unwrap the arms, Warrior Two. Reverse your warrior, right hand up, left arm slide it on like a belt. Side angle, right arm down maybe to the thigh, left arm up and overhead. Side body stretch there. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. Right side plank. Right there. Inhale. Exhale, left elbow to the floor, opening up to the other side of the room. Left side plank on the arm. Breathe in. Exhale, Dolphin Plank. Weights in the hands and arms. Push into the floor. Strong upper back, core strength, straight line. Dolphin, tiptoe forward. Hips high, soft knees. Bring knees to the floor, child's pose. As you sit back, extend the arms, maybe fingertips, spider's legs on the ground, sinking the chest a little bit. Plant the palms So you can come up to downward facing dog again. Re-extend right leg up into the air. Right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge. High lunge. So left heel stays lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward. First time that we're in this posture. Rising up, reaching into the air. Hold for a moment. We're going to bend the elbows 90 degrees. Squeeze the elbows forward like we did earlier, like we did in tree pose. And bring them back and open the chest. Shoot them straight up. Hinge forward about 45 degrees. Put weight into the front foot. Step forward so you're in chair pose. Stand up tall, straighten the lines in the body. Right away, eagle other side, so bring the arms down. Pay attention to the right arm. Right arm comes down and behind the left, cross at the elbows. Lift and wrap. Soft knees. Bend the knees, put weight into the left foot. Cross right over left. Squeeze tightly. We're going to uncross that leg and step the right foot back behind us on the mat. Lunge, Warrior Two. Open the arms. Reverse the warrior. Left hand reaching up into the air. Right arm, wear it like a belt. Windmill to side angle. Left arm to left thigh. Right hand up and overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, turn. Hands to the floor. Step back. Plank pose. Hold for a second. Left side plank. Left hand's on the floor, opening up sideways. Breathe in. Exhale, right arm to the floor, spinning open to the other side. Right side plank. Breathe in. Exhale, left arm to the floor. Dolphin plank. Tiptoe forward, hips high, dolphin. Knees to the floor, child's pose. As the hips sit back towards heels, extend the arms, come to fingertips, so you can kind of sink the chest for a couple breaths. Plant the palms into the floor, rise back up, hands and knees, tuck toes, lift knees and hips, down dog. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. All 10 toes are forward, right heel's lifted, rise up, reach up into the air. Bend elbows 90 degrees. Squeeze elbows forward. Open it up, open the chest. Shoot the arms straight up. Hinge forward 45 degrees. Shifting weight into the left foot, step forward into chair pose. Rise up. Guess what? We're going to go through the sequence again. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Arms come down. Left arm will come down and behind the right. Eagle pose. Wrap up the arms. Bend the knees. Weights in the right foot. Cross left over right. Squeeze tightly. Inhale. We're going to release on the exhale. Exhale. Step back. Opening up. Warrior Two. Reverse the warrior. Put on the belt. Side angle. Right arm down. Left hand up and overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. Right side plank right away. Right hand's on the floor. Left arm comes to the floor, spin open to the other side. Opening up, inhale. Exhale, dolphin plank. Hold for a quick second. Dolphin, tiptoe forward, hips high. Hold. Knees to the floor, child's pose, fingertips on the ground. Sink the chest. Plant the palms, hands and knees, downward facing dog. Right leg into the air. Right foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Reach high. Bend elbows 90 degrees. Squeeze elbows forward. Reopen the arms, open the chest. Shoot arms straight up. Hinge forward 45 degrees. Step forward, chair pose. Stand up tall, extended mountain, eagle, other side. Arms come down, right arm comes down and behind the left. Make the X, lift and wrap. Soft knees, put weight into the left foot. Left foot, cross right over left. On the exhale, Step out, Warrior Two. Right foot steps back. Open the arms. Reverse the warrior, put on the belt. Side angle, left hand down, right hand up and over. Inhale here. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Left side plank, left hand stays on the floor, opening up to the right side of the room. Once here, breathe in, reach and open. Exhale, right elbow comes to the floor, opening up to the left side of the room. Left hand into the air. Breathe in, we're still moving. Exhale, Dolphin Plank. Hold. Dolphin, tiptoe forward, hips high. Weights in the fists or hands. Set the knees down, child's pose. Extended arms, fingertips on the ground. Sink the chest. Plant the palms, hands and knees. Down dog. Inhale, left leg into the air. Left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Bend elbows 90 degrees. Squeeze elbows to center or forward. Reopen, open the chest. Shoot the arms straight up. Hinge forward. Step forward, chair pose. Stand up tall, extended mountain. Exhale, arms down by your side. Whew, you did it. How are those shoulders feeling? Oh my gosh. Great job. Okay, get a sip of water. I'm going to adjust my mat. Okay, we're going to come back to mountain pose. And just going to make our way back down onto the floor here to finish up our practice. Good job. Let's inhale, sweep the arms out and up. You can move slowly now. Exhale, swan dive. Take your time. Monkey pose, inhale. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Just a pause here. All right, we're going to kneel and take a seat or hop forward, cross legs. Take a seat. Sitting in the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Let's start by keeping the knees bent, feet flat on the ground. And let everything soften. Stay here for a moment. A couple of breaths just to regain that connection to breath. Extend both arms straight up into the air like you're reaching for the ceiling. Okay, then you can give yourself a hug. Okay, and just wrap your arms around you. Okay, and see if you're touching opposite shoulders. Notice which arm is closest to your chin. Okay, for me it's my left arm. So my left arm is basically in front of my right arm. So just a little hug here, just to get into the lateral parts of the shoulders, the side parts of the shoulders, and kind of in the rear portions of the shoulders. Okay, then unhug, reach both arms straight up into the air, and then give yourself that second hug, but now bring the opposite arm, the other arm in front. Okay, and for me now it's my right arm. It's going to feel different. It's going to feel awkward. Because the first hug was probably the most natural way to cross your arms. And then we'll re-extend the arms up into the air and then down by your side. Go ahead and hug both knees into chest. You can hold onto the knees or shins with your hands. And maybe some circles here just to massage the back a little bit. And since your feet are free, you might want to circle the feet and ankles. Find a hip opener that you like. I'm going to move into several. I'm going to first take the legs wide and then feet up into the air for happy baby pose. You certainly can join me here. Or maybe you're doing another hip opener that you like. You can just hold that one posture. You can do several if you want. I'm doing happy baby pose, and I'm actually rocking left and right a little bit just to continue that nice massage in the back. But just that rocking sensation, because of how my legs are oriented. I can feel this in the hips and leg sockets here. Okay, then I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together and set the feet onto the floor for a reclining cobbler's pose. Much more restful here too. Nice opportunity to tune into breath and take some deep breaths as the hips are just doing a little release and stretch. Hopefully the upper body is beginning to relax a little bit after all that upper body work. That was a lot of upper body work. All right, we're going to do one more thing for shoulders. Okay, it's not really a shoulder action, but we call it shoulder stand. Okay, but we're going to modify it, or I'm going to modify it, and you're welcome to modify it or do the full posture. So what you're going to bring the knees together, hug them in towards chest, right here, like this. Then you're going to rock forward and back, a little momentum, and what you're going to do is take the legs and hips up into the air, okay? Hips will lift up off the ground, and you'll catch yourself in your hands, okay? So let's try this. So I'm rocking forward and back. I'm going to rock back so I can get the legs up and the hips up off the floor, and catch yourself in your hands. So this is where I'm going to stay. So my hands are just resting right at the hips. I'm just sitting in the hands, and you can see there's quite a significant angle in my legs here. They're not reaching straight up, and that's fine. I like this because it keeps my head and neck free. What you can do if you want for the full shoulder stand posture is walk your hands more towards the center of your back, away from your waistline, which will free up the pelvis and hips, which will allow you to extend the legs so they're straight up and down, okay? But I'm going to keep this modified version, and you're welcome to do so as well. Now you can stay in the upside down position with the legs straight up in the air, but you can certainly bring the legs and feet down behind you for plow pose if you want. Just an option today. Okay, I'm just going to keep the legs extended. A couple more breaths. Again, you're welcome to move into plow pose. Bring the feet down behind you. Here's a variation. You could just like bend your knees and just bring them down towards your forehead or something like this. And then you're going to slowly roll completely out of the posture. Bring the legs out in front onto the floor. You're going to kind of tip yourself up. Get the hands and arms underneath you. Lying flat on the arms. Underneath you, squeezing shoulder blades together. Pressing into the floor with the elbows to lift upper body. Arching the back. Crown of the head on the floor behind you. This is fish pose. So you're lying down flat, arms underneath you. You're lying on top of your arms. Then you pushed into the floor with the elbows just to lift the upper body and create the back bend. And then we'll rest. Lift the chin or lift the head, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Lie down. Get the arms out from underneath you. Rest there for a moment. This is a little brief preview to Shavasana. Let's do a twist. Let's bring the knees in, both knees. Then we'll take both knees over to the left side, extending right arm off to the right side. Again, just tune into your breathing. Deep breaths as you're able. Lots of movement in our class. Lots of upper body work. So dolphin pose and shoulder strength. 2 more breaths. And let's bring the knees back up to center. Pause here for a moment. And then taking knees over to the other side. Spinal twist. And just a couple more breaths here on this side. And then you can make your way back to center. Give yourself another hug and decide what you would like to do next. You're certainly welcome to move right into Shavasana for the next few minutes as we wrap up our practice together. But if there's any other movement you'd like to do that we have not done yet, or that you want to repeat, go ahead and add that here. And when you do feel complete with all your extra movements and stretches, make your way to Shavasana. Eventually just extending the legs out front, arms resting down by your side, making sure your shoulders feel relaxed as they melt into the ground. You might close your eyes just to move inward, taking some slow, deep breaths. As you're able, staying connected to the breath, keeping you present, keeping you here in the moment. Slow, steady breaths. Stay here as long as you'd like. Complete release and relaxation. And when you feel it's time to move, take your time and start with 5 slow, deep breaths. As you're taking these deep breaths, just feel the breath, this energetic breath moving throughout your entire body, filling you up. As it fills you up, feel movement return to your body as well. A new strength, a new energy, a new focus. And then sometime after your 5th breath, there's certainly no rush to move. Take your time and carefully roll onto either side of your body. Just moving into a nurturing pose. Pausing here for a moment if you like. And then rising up slowly. Come to a seated position. Finding a comfortable seat on your mat, maybe crossing your legs. Nicely extended spine, shoulders relaxed now, arms are relaxed. Take a breath or two. And then one last movement together. Inhale, take the arms up into the air. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Find stillness, find your breath. Take one more breath. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste.